So hi, Jasper from Bister PT, and I'm at the PT Studios. This is my one-to-one private facility where I train my clients. I have a little bit of a gap here, and I thought this would be a good time to do a little video for you guys. So hello, you guys out there. I'm a personal trainer. I'm also the guy who trains other people to become personal trainers. So I'm the one that the industry trusts to sign off to say somebody is competent enough to train you, to look after you, keep you safe, because it's your health is here. Um, but as I said, I have my little bit of a gap here at the moment, and aside from being a personal trainer, the mentor, trainer, and assessor for other PTs, I'm a sports massage therapist. I'm a nutrition advisor. I've done Pilates, exercise for older adults, pre and postnatal exercise. I'm somebody who's always going to be studying. I'm somebody who's always going to be learning about life as well. I've also qualified as a counselor and as a coach. And what I've found over the years is that a lot of the times we know the things that are good for us, we know the things that are bad for us. We know the things that we aspire to, we know the things that we want to do. And often we will know what we need to do to get those things or to achieve them, but then we don't put the work in to do it. And perhaps one of the biggest restrictions on ability, I would say, or one of the biggest objections or one of the biggest obstacles to overcome is about time and time management. And people say, and I'm sure you will say it, and I've said it myself, there just aren't enough hours in the day. I don't have enough time. I would love to do this, but I don't have enough time. I'd love to be able to study. I'd love to do. We all have this. So it got me thinking, as I'm wont to do. And I looked at my budget one month, and I looked at like where my money was coming in, money was going out, bills that had to be paid, and it kind of something clicked with me. And I thought, I look at the things there that are non-negotiables and the things I want to do, and I budget my money accordingly. Why don't I do that with my time? And I set up a spreadsheet. I love a spreadsheet. I'm an Excel geek, as I say. I'm just tech out, anything out. Oh, science, don't get me started. I will go on for ages about science. But I did a spreadsheet for my time each week. And I broke it down into the non-negotiables. So if you think about with your wages each month or your bills, your tax comes out, your national insurance comes out, you've got no say in that. Your rent and your mortgage and all of these things, they must, car insurance, these things are just pretty much, they're gone out of your wages. You don't even look at them as being your money. Then you have the money that is yours, and that's what you're going to use to go out and socialize, or to buy a treat or a phone or clothes or whatever it might be. So I broke my time down, and I'd invite you to do the same. I think you'll be quite shocked. I think you'll be surprised, and it will make you look at your time a little bit more differently. So I'd encourage you to do this as well. So what I did was I broke down the non-essentials. So these are the direct debits. These are the things that come out of my time allowance every week, every month, every day. So I sleep 7 hours a night. Well, there's 7 sevens. There's 49 hours every week gone. Straight away, sleep. So put that over there and put that to the side. That's gone. The next thing I'd look at would be work. And work, let's say it's a 40-hour week that we all have to do, or we're all meant to do. We may be working 20 hours and in university for 20 hours. We may be a child carer. We may be whatever we may be, but there's going to be an amount of time that we have to put aside to work. Yours may be slightly more, slightly less. In fairness, a lot of people work 2 jobs now, so it's likely to be more. But if we need to really kind of put aside something like that, see how your numbers tack up compared to mine. So 49 for sleep, 40 for work. That's our running total is 89 now at the moment. Commuting, queuing for things, going to work, going to school, going to university, waiting in banks or waiting in line for anything that we have to do, or waiting around on train platforms, all these types of things that we need to do. I've said an hour each way for work and that, so 14 hours a week. So we had 14, it brings it to 103 hours now at the moment. Food, whether we're shopping, prepping, or eating. What do you spend on your food each week? How much time? I've put down 2 hours a day. I'm probably a little bit less, but I've just rounded it up to 2 hours. I batch cook, so I kind of have my meals prepared over the week, so I will spend a block of time preparing it. It makes it 3 minutes in the microwave afterwards, and it makes it a lot easier. But let's say 14 hours, 2 hours a day on food, averaged out over the week. So that brings our running total to 117 hours. Our chores. So let's say running the Hoover around the house, washing down the surfaces, dusting, loading the dishwasher, washing machine and laundry and all those types of things. Let's say 1 hour a day. I wish my chores are more than 1 hour a day, but let's just say 1 hour a day. That's bringing our total to 124 hours. Grooming. Now, I'm not saying that we're all prissy, but you think about it when we brush our teeth, when we have to shower or bathe, when we go for a haircut, if you're doing makeup, whatever it is that you're doing. Let's say an hour and a half a day. Let's include our toilet breaks in there as well. So when we go to the bathroom, so say an hour and a half, give it to somewhere around 10 hours a week. So I think that brings us to 134 hours. So every week, there's 134 hours gone. And that's on the essentials to be able to survive and be able to get by. So then we go on to the optional things, the things we would like to spend our time on. I don't know about you, but for me, part of work and my work week as well, but phones, social media, it's got to be an hour and a half a day. And if I was really honest, for me, it's probably more than that. But we'll put it down for an hour and a half a day. So there's 10 hours there, and these are on our optional spends. Our socializing. Now, I've put down 10 hours here. I've put about an hour and a half a day. And it doesn't seem like a lot, or it may do. But then again, if I go out for drinks with friends or I go out for dinner one night, I mean, it's 5 hours in one night that I'll go. If I go out and do a day out where we go for a walk and go for lunch somewhere, there's 6 or 7 hours. So 10 hours probably is not as much as I do, but that's what I've said. So in our optionals, we're up to 20 hours at the moment. Relaxation, whether that's having a bath, whether that's walking a dog, where it's going for a walk, where it's listening to music, whatever it might be that we do, we really should be making an hour a day for that, just to decompress and de-stress ourselves. So if we say an hour a day, 7 days in the week, 7 hours, 27 hours is our total now. And then talk about family time. So aside from socializing, time we spend with our family, and that could be siblings, your mum, your dad, your own kids. If you think about it, if you do have kids, if you're with them on the day, if you go for a day out somewhere, well, there's 8, 10, 12 hours immediately. If you do a lunch around the house on a Sunday, it's going to be 6, 7 hours with your family. So I've said roughly 2 hours a day, 15 hours in a week. That brings you up to 42 hours as our running total at the moment. TV. How much do we watch? And it doesn't have to be necessarily TV, but what do we stream? TV shows, sports events, and everything else like that. I've said 2 hours a day. So again, that's bringing our total up to 56 hours. And then we talk about exercise. Now, the World Health Organization recommend that we do a minimum of 150 minutes worth of moderate intensity exercise every single week. That's the minimum that we should be doing. And that's really about just the basics to fight off infirmity or to slow it down a little bit. I don't think it's anywhere near enough. And I think as you get older, I think you need to be making more time for exercise. And that's something else I'll do in another video. We'll talk about the different types of exercise and the effects that they have and why it's important to have that diversity. But let's say we're somewhere around the World Health Organization guidelines and we do 3 hours exercise each week. That brings our total to 59. So we've got 134 hours over here non-negotiable, and we've got 59 hours that are optional, the things we would like to do. Now, if we bang the two of them together, it comes to 193 hours every week. That's what we spend, and that's what we need to allow. Now, for those of you who are maybe a little bit ahead, there's a problem there. There's a little bit of an issue. There are 7 days in a week, and there are 24 hours a day. So 7 times 24 is 168 hours. And that's all there are. So I'm running at a deficit of 25 hours. I need to find another day somewhere. And I think when you realize that, you can realize that you cannot cope with all of the things that you're trying to do. And once you accept that, it starts to make you break down what's actually important And then you can focus in on doing that and doing it well. So rather than feeling stressed and rather than feel, pulled apart and put upon and always catching up, which I did for a long time, it's a matter of saying, no, stop. Let's just stop and think what's important to me. Where can I get value? Where can I economize on time? Where can I get better value out of my time? What I found was, for me, I cut down my social circle. I didn't try and stay in touch with as many people, having kind of casual interactions that really didn't matter. I shrunk down to a very strong support network, and there's a group of strong love there, and I've got good people around me that I can absolutely rely on. They know me inside out. I can be honest with them. They're honest with me as well. I started to be mindful about what I was doing when I do pick up my phone. Is it with a deliberate purpose? I turn off the notifications. The same thing, I just try not to go down rabbit holes when I'm doing it. I'll get on to do things deliberately. But for me as a coach, for you, I need to be aware of the things that are non-negotiable in your life and to build an exercise program that works around that. That's where the Empower Fit experience comes into it here. Because I'll spend about an hour and a half on an online conference with you, getting to know everything that you aspire to do, everything that's important to you. I'll take that away and I'll design a program. So when you come here to this private one-to-one studio, you'll have 8 hours with me. You'll have a full day, and I will run through everything that you need to know. I can run through your nutrition with you. I can run through time management with you. We can start to overcome some objections. We can isolate the obstacles in your way and find ways to deal with them and cope with them. I will show you how to do every exercise that you will need. If it's stuff that you're going to need to do to train at home, we can do that. If you're going to go to your local gym, we can do that. If you're gym intimidated, if you're a treadmill warrior who goes to the gym, goes on the treadmill, does a couple of bicep curls and uses two machines that look pretty simple, and are afraid to use the other equipment for fear of doing it wrong, then come and see me. I will show you how to do everything properly, and you won't give a shit what anyone else thinks. The other thing I would say is influencers. There are too many people I've seen in the industry who will have a look on TikTok and they'll have a look on Instagram and they'll see something on there and then follow it blindly. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, the people on there are not accredited. They're selling a product, they're getting you to subscribe to something. If you really believe that you can get your perfect six pack in 28 days by doing wall Pilates, good luck to you. Fair play to you. Hand your money over or just throw it in the air somewhere because it's just not achievable. I'm about being realistic with you, being honest with you, and applying science to your fitness journey. Again, I'm a geek for science. I've studied biology and physiology, and I absolutely love it, and I will study till I die. If you want me to explain the science behind things, I will do that. But you don't need to know it. I can break it down into plain English. I can bust the myths. I can give you all the information you need to know to be your own personal trainer. Then afterwards, stay in touch. You'll go from a client to becoming a friend, and I will be there to help you. So those times when you have a little bit of a setback or when you're feeling a little bit insecure, there's something not quite right, do reach out and I will be able to support you as well. My job is to make you able to achieve your own goals because you're my testimonial of the future. So it's in my interest to make sure you succeed. So I'd be interested, the exercise, I have all my numbers here. I'd be interested, if you don't mind, send me yours. Tell me what your breakdown was. Tell me how many hours you need in a week to be able to do everything you want. Tell me if there's something that I haven't thought about that affects your life as well. As I said, I love to learn. I love to socialize. I'm Irish. I talk a lot, and I'm happy to have a conversation with you. So do please reach out. You can email me, info@bisterpt.co.uk. You can get me on Instagram @bisterpt, TikTok @bisterpt, and just reach out and hopefully I'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.